I got no idea what they're doing here, but you know, there's an easy fix. You know, just. Oh, hey, look at that! I fixed it. Yeah, I fixed it. There we go. Hey, Yakov, thank you for the subscription. Alright, we'll see if this genie thing builds, and then if we can get it to do a CMake build, some Jeff Bezos bucks. Do we got ourselves an EXE now? Where is... there it is. Should be there. See if it actually runs. Okay. Where can I put this crap? Bezos bucks. Yeah. Did I show you guys there's that, I think I sent it in the email. There's this Zoom thing. It's kind of a Zoom thing. I'm going to try it out. Hold up. It's in my latest email I sent people. Yeah, peer calls. Let me pull this up. So it basically implements peer-to-peer web calling, which is more or less what Zoom is doing. And I think from what I saw, it supports like a lot of stuff. I think it's using Pion. Let's take a look. Yeah, the client is going to be in JS, or TS in this case, and then server. Yeah, the server's in Go, and I think it's using Pion. For those who don't know, Pion is a pure Go implementation of WebRTC, and it implements a bunch of great stuff. Like the ICE, stun, turn, all those things to make sure that people can connect to each other. All kinds of good stuff. Apparently the person who wrote this, they messaged me on Twitter. They said they got started programming off my course too. Kind of fun. Probably the only reason I'm considering Go is for this project. Like that's how that's how much I like this project. Just extensive, high quality stuff. You see people using it all the time. Let me drop you some links. Everybody, check out cool stuff. So I'm contemplating using using this peer calls, and then see if like you can get, since it's like 9 to 10 people join up. Just tell folks you can connect off Twitch. Yeah, Go seems like a pretty sweet language. My only complaint is their error handling is abysmal. Just like the worst error handling. Like worse than C's error handling. Like I don't know how you can do that. But I was a big fan of Russ Cox's work, even before he joined Go. Okay, so that builds. Now I need to put Genie, not Gianni, in a location. Where could I put it? god. The way Windows does paths is just terrible. Alright, we're gonna do it this way. Look at that. Hey, I put it in the right place. Alright, so loud. I think I do this. Got me. Let's generate CMake. Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of docs on this. Oh. Yeah, not a lot. Much quiet. Interesting. Let me go look. Yeah, So Loud seems kind of maybe partially abandoned, or... Oh wait, did you just tell me a joke? You're trolling me, man? Unbelievable. I thought we were friends. Okay. That'd have been great if there was an alternative to So Loud. Alright, so where is the CMake file? Alright, gotta learn how to use Genie. Okay, so we're gonna do... That platform is... OS is Windows, and platform is we'll try x64, but it looks like they build it for 32. And then let's see if we can make CMake. Yeah, it doesn't seem to find anything. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, so you can do a few other options. Okay, so now, once I have this, I can actually pull this into the Mason build. But let me see. Can I remember how to run CMake? Okay, and then... Oh god, I never remember how to run CMake. Did it build it? Did it do anything? I'm very confused. I hate CMake like so much. It's so convoluted for like no reason. It's definitely written by someone who like their food can't touch. Maybe it's in here? Who knows? Where did it put the DLLs? Nobody knows. What a nightmare. So I'm thinking I could probably... Also, I don't know why it's insisting on using Visual C++ to do the build. There should be a way to tell it to use Ninja. Probably what I would have to do is... let's look at the CMake lists. What? Yeah, I think you just import that. And then Mason should be able to just kind of do its thing. Yeah, too bad they don't have better instructions. Honestly, it's one of the things that I talk about. Like, if you can't write build instructions, you don't know your code. Like, just like you can't describe how to build it or how to use it or anything. You don't know it. Like, if you're using only Docker because you don't want to tell people how to build it, that's shows me you don't know what you're doing. You know. So let's see if he's got how to build. Yeah, but that doesn't do anything. It's almost like I gotta pass some stupid option to CMake. Let's see. Alright, so it can do Ninja. Alright, let's do What is this error? Just delete it. Why do you make me manually delete it? Oh my god, man. Oh, hey, Daddy says, well, thank you for subscribing. I can now buy the coffee I use for my own espresso. Thank you very much. I love it. What is this? Like, oh god, I hate CMake so much. Like, you have an error. You need to delete this file. Dude, just delete it. Okay, let's get rid of that. What's the next error? Okay, so now, once I do that... So it should be using Ninja. Right? Okay, so now I should be able to do build. Get rid of that. Okay, that's Ninja. Okay, and then it fails. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Hermios. Wow, this is going to be a real tough project to figure out. So basically, I think... Yeah, it's trying to build a terminal program it shouldn't be building. So we don't need it to build the demos. So if we skip the demos, yeah, I can show you guys this. So if you skip the demos, it should build. But this is sort of the reason why, like, I'm using Ninja instead of Microsoft's build, because Microsoft's build seemed to compile all this stuff, but then just, like, didn't put anything anywhere. Yeah, okay. But the ideal thing would be I can generate the CMake and then I make a wrap file. The wrap file would load up the CMake and just do all this for me. And then it would put it in the correct place. Now, I don't want to do this any further because, like I said, my sound card can't handle C++. I think I used some really simple library, just tried to play a sound, like the whole computer crashed. I feel like the USB driver is held together with duct tape and bubble gum. Oh, Billy, if you dropped a link, it's Twitch blocks links. If you want to drop me a link, here. Email it to help@learncodethehardway.com. Yeah, email it to that. I'll grab it real quick. Okay, so I will play with So Loud off screen because I'm positive if I try to run it, there's a good chance that I want to make sure that sound doesn't crash and everything because I'll ruin the stream. But there we go. So the point of So Loud, just so people are curious about it, it's basically like kind of like WWise, but doesn't cost $40 billion. And WWise is like top notch, and there's another one. Literally Billy.com. Fmod is another one. And what these do is they make sound, but they simulate 3D space. It's basically like a OpenGL for sound. Now there's also OpenAL, but that is a hot pile of flaming garbage. OpenAL is terrible. I've never been able to get OpenAL to work anywhere. Like, it's so bad. So Loud is kind of that, but just a little smaller, a little simpler. And nicely open source. Looks like it's got a nice little API. And so you can load sounds and then give them positions and move them around and play them at different volumes. Now, the only thing about that is, I don't really know if it's even necessary in like a little low. I want sound and music and stuff. But let's go back to I know how to make sounds so that there's distance to them. It's pretty simple. So you can't see it, but the game calculates a Dijkstra map every time, and basically there's numbers. So the enemy is just basically following the numbers in a descending order, right? So it just goes like this. So probably near the enemy right now is like a 7, and then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So to make it, to do sound, all I gotta do is load the sound. Let's say I want to have the enemy have kind of like a monster sound or something like that, right? And then I just look, what is the Dijkstra map number for the enemy? And then lower the volume, the higher that goes. So say the enemy's at 6, then make the volume probably 0, right? And then as you move closer, you just keep increasing the volume. So if the enemy is standing on like a 0, 1, 2, okay, then you raise it up, and then right next to you, it'd be there. So that's probably enough. For like a roguelike game, I think just changing the volume is probably enough. But it'd be really interesting to kind of play with binaural sound, like figure out how to show where the enemy is. So the only thing is, though, we're doing an aerial map, right? So is this enemy is below me? So does that mean, like, if the sound is like, you look at my head, is that the sound is here, or is it the sound is here? Like, is it behind me? Like, is south behind me, and then north is in front, and east and west? Right? Yeah, the volume thing is easy. The volume thing is very easy. I just go, what's the Dijkstra map for that character? Change the volume of their sound. That's it. I want to play with how do you do like there's an explosion over here, an enemy is coming down this hallway, and how do you hear that, right? So I think I gotta go play like some 2D games, like maybe what was that one? Core Keeper. Core Keeper came out a little while ago, or even Moonring. Maybe I should go just see how Moonring does it too, and then take notes and be like, oh, they're over here, or they're over there. No, they're in front. Yeah, so anyways, So Loud could potentially be just super duper overkill, but that's kind of the theme of this, right? Like, how overkill can you make a little text-based game? Okay, so let's fix this problem. We got 2 ways to do it. We could just implement damage for us, or we can sort of make, or diagonals. I'd have to change the keys, right? So right now I have arrow keys, north, south, east, west. I'd have to probably change it over to the whole left side of your keyboard, Q, E, ASD, so you could go diagonal. And then you could theoretically do that and then do a diagonal, and that would get you away from enemies. But maybe first thing is implement damage. Yeah. What do you think? Let's see. It's either going to be diagonal motion or damage. First thing we do. Let's go into systems. Let's do combat. The other thing is, I believe part of the problem could be solved by making sure that the player gets to move first. Because I think I'm just doing it whatever order the entities are in the map. Yeah, so see right now, if the player moved first, I moved down, I would have moved and then they would have got me, right? So let's maybe implement that first. Yeah, let's see if we can do that. Basically, we're just going to give the player the most priority. Probably simplest is pull that up into a separate function. Yeah, let's do that. I think that's all we need. Let's gut that. We need motion too. Do we? Yes. All right, so now we should be able to do a collider game acquisition motion. That'll run all that stuff. Probably could just inline it. Another idea related to the sound. There's this game I play that nobody else likes. It's called Windbound. Let me see if I can find it. And one of the things that's really interesting about it is the person who did the music is very good. But what they did is they gave every enemy sort of their own theme song, their own little like tune. And each enemy's tune meshes with the other enemies around you. So that way when there's two different types of enemies, they sort of start creating this sort of like polyphonic song. And so I kind of like that idea where like enemies still have motions and movement. They make sounds like normal, right? Oh, ad break. $1.99? What did you buy? You bought something from one of the ads, Billy? Oh, Windbound. Yeah. Windbound's fun. It's a small studio. It's a small studio in Brisbane, but yeah, I don't know why it's weirdly kind of special in some ways and special in others, if I'm being honest. But you build a boat. You slowly build yourself up. I recommend playing it on the easiest level first. Combat's pretty good. Like I would say it's decent. You got lots of stuff to play with. Not too many enemies. There's like maybe 10 different enemies. It's definitely a roguelike. And the sailing is really fun. The sailing's like the best part. But I think the thing that I liked was that there's different enemies that had different music to them. And the music kind of meshed together. And I thought that was like really interesting that they were able to pull it off. Okay, so we got move entity. That's going to do our move for us. And then we just need to move the player first. I think that'll fix that one big problem. Oh, I need the entity as well. Yeah, I think you'll like it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's too much wrong with it. The story's kind of dumb, but the theme to it's good. I like the ending. It's short. It's got like 5 sections, and then after that, you can go and play endless mode, where you go back through and you play the 5 sections again. But then what you do is you can just keep going and see how far you can get. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing that, because entity is just an integer. Alright, let's do that. Oh, it's a dinky CSS entity. Oh, these wonderful error messages. That always gets me. The error is this, but then there's like 50 template errors before that. Well, let's make sure the movement works the way it did before, and then we'll fix it. All right, good. Okay, so the next thing is... Yeah, what we'll do is we'll go up here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that'll get me the player, get me their motion and position, and that should also clear their motion out, so then this will only process the remaining entities. So it shouldn't move the player more than once. I think that'll work, but we'll see. Yeah, I wonder about this bit twiddling music. Right, let's see. So now I should get first move. Yeah, there we go. Now we can evade. I mean, you still get stuck like that, but that's what the damage is going to be for. Just got to fight your way out of that. Very cool. Yeah, that's kind of how it should work. Yeah, there we go. Now we can get away. Okay, now we can implement damage. Okay. Next, combat. So I guess I could do it as sort of like a simple version of it would be to make this more like an auto combat thing. We're just being near the enemy. You get the player can do some damage, the enemy can do some damage. Because normally what you do is you have it where like if like the enemy is here and the player is there, if they move into the enemy, it does it. But I think I'd have to track motion and confirm that the motion is going that direction. So to just get a simple start to you can defeat enemies, just do it right here. Yeah, because I'd have to grab the player's motion. I don't know, I probably could do it. We'll just do it like a simple little thing right here. Alright, so first up, player is going to do some damage. Did I get player combat? Yeah, okay. I can grab that first to go here. A very serious song. Again, then right there. Then we'd have to be able to remove an entity from the world. Ah, I actually don't have that, I think. Alright, put that on the list. We're gonna need yeah, one of those two options where like maybe after you kill it, it turns into like something that looks like a dead body and you can step over it. But for now we're going to do this. So the player always gets to hit, enemies don't. Well, I think what we'll do is probably next session we'll have a more complicated combat system where like I hand it the player and the enemy and it does some stuff. Yeah, let's try that. Oh, and then I should be... Yeah, let's make it just real quick. We'll do that. And what's this complaint? Oh, I made it consta. Okay, let's see how this combat works. Oh, we got two enemies. Okay, yeah. So enemies don't really have names, so. Alright, so that enemy is still going to follow me around because I haven't really done that, but... Okay, cool. Alright, so they're basically dead. Alright, so now we just have to figure out how do we mark someone dead. And how do we remove things from the world? Yeah, so this whole chunk right here will become like some kind of combat system. I could just call a function where I hand the player, the enemy, motion, any kind of things it needs, and then it does all the calculations and tells me what happened. But for now, we're going to hack this up. Alright, so now we got to figure out how to make someone dead or not. That'd be the next thing. Okay, cool. Oh, I need Okay, cool. So we just have to figure out how to kill him. Yeah, cool. All right. Now, how are things marked dead? All right, so a couple of ways we could do this. We can make a death system. All right, let me look at first. Let's go to ECS. Did I implement removing? I did not. Wow, this can be brutal. Yeah, you'd have to go through all the types and search for every entity. That's gnarly. Let me see. Chat. Yeah. So all that auto stuff, Kruzma. So the question or the statement is, modern C++ looks so weird with all the auto stuff. Ruby mostly. Yeah, so modern C++, they've done a lot to really improve the language, but most of it, 90% of it, is from 1 year. Like I'd say 90% of what I'm working with is from C++ 11. Like you take a look, it's like auto, final, trailing, R values, scope denums, null pointer. Like there's so much crap. Lambda expressions. Yeah, so here if you want to scope it out, check it. Threads. Yeah, look at all the libraries they created. Array, atomic, chronos, it had time. Condition variables, futures, it had promises and futures. Threading, regular expressions. I think file system came in C++ 17. Tuples, so like you can actually do multiple returns. I just figured that out yesterday. I think that's my favorite new feature. If you look at Collider, I gotta rename that file. It should be called spatial map. Anyway, let me find it for you. Yeah, so you do this in your function definition, and you say we're going to return that and that, and then you can use it oh, I made a function. Yeah, here. So you can literally do auto and then like array syntax, and you get multiple assignment. Like I never thought C++ would have that. Like I saw tuple, I saw those things like, oh, tuple looks like such a pain in the ass to use because you have to do like first and second. I'm like, oh, multiple returns should be easier than that. And then I forget, I was looking at some code yesterday. I'm like, wait, you can do that? And then I was like, oh, we're totally doing that. It's probably a performance nightmare, but that's cool as hell. Yeah. So it's very useful for these situations. I believe I was looking at TIE. Yeah, the documentation for TIE. Which is kind of like a generic tuple. So if you look... Yeah, so you can do... TIE is kind of interesting. You can do things like... this is effectively reassigning elements of a struct to another struct in like one move. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, I mean, C++ is a lot of fun. I think give them like 4 or 5 years and they'll have a specification on to compete with Rust on safety. They have quite a lot of stuff. I think C++ sort of got a bad rap because they do have quite a lot of stuff that modern C++ doesn't do a lot of memory allocation, and also doesn't do a lot of manual heap management. You use things like shared pointer and unique pointer, and those manually, those like are reference counting. They handle it for you. But they've got a new specification called Safe C++. Yeah. And this is by some fairly legit people, and it's got some pretty reasonable... No, C++ 11 is not the latest. So C++ is very slow to be adopted in the compilers. So the one I'm using is a mix of a 17 and 20, to give you an idea. So C++ 17. This is widely supported. See, all of this stuff and before, most every compiler now has that. And then C++ 20, I believe Clang and GCC probably support it. I'm not sure about Microsoft. I really wish they would add CPP reference. CPP reference is amazing. Like, as far as programming language documentation go, this is the very best. But I'm looking for, oh hey, I literally was just saying they should say what's supported. What the hell, why did I miss this? Okay, if you look there, they tell you who supports it. Yeah, so you can see, like, if you're on IBM, you ain't got anything modern. Embarcadero, yeah. These are very low end. NVIDIA has a compiler? What the fuck? Anyway, so they tell you the versions that support it. And then what features. So this is C++ 20. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of stuff that's partially supported. And then I believe Clang has a bunch of bugs in their implementation of things. And then also C++ 23 is the latest. And I think probably nobody really supports a lot of that. C++ 23 added coroutines. Kind of crap. I don't really like I don't really like them. But you can see, yeah, like Clang and GCC, not too bad. Clang's really not there on what is this? Class template argument deduction. GCC doesn't have some stuff about Lambda. So probably the earliest I would go would be C++ 20, right? And then everything else, like, yeah, you're not gonna Microsoft, Yeah, so I think for wide adoption, it's usually about 5 years behind, I'm going to say. So like in 2028, you can use this. The C++ coroutine implementation is just missing a lot of useful stuff. And I think they didn't understand what the point of C++ of coroutines is. They think coroutines are like Pythons, whereas for generating values, they don't think of it as green threads, like very lightweight alternatives to threading. So if you want lightweight threading where like you interact based on I/O, it's gnarly. I tried to use it and I'm just like, wow, this is just a brain cooker. So I can get you a very good blog post that goes through all of the issues and also teaches you how to use it. And you just go through that and you'll see all the stuff I'm talking about. Let me find it for you. Yeah, Stanford. This is by David Mazieres. Probably not saying that right. He wrote an email server and then, yeah, called Mail Avenger. And then was trying to use coroutines, because in network servers, that's where coroutines come in, right? And so this is a full rundown where he goes and implements everything you could possibly do with it. So go through that, and you'll see it's got some really weird choices in how you suspend, how you resume, how you pass values in. It's just really odd. It doesn't work the way you would think. So if you want to use coroutines, there's two options. There's a very good, I think async IO, yeah, this library is more lightweight. And it will basically give you, it's missing this. If it had that, it would work a lot better, right? And also, like, it doesn't have anything. Like, you have to make your own task library. You have to do almost everything manually. It's not like their thread implementation. So I would say the overall complaint is they should have made coroutines and made it pretty close to threads, and then that's it. It would have been perfect if they just said, okay, we have these primitives, and then we're gonna make a coroutine library that just works like threads. Anyway, so this library is decent. Let me drop you this link. Check this out. And this is the majority of what you're probably going to use coroutine library for, is for things that are like network servers where it's highly I/O bound, not CPU bound. So you have a lot of waiting for I/O. And then there is a very, very complete, is it by Netcan again? Let me just check. No, there's a very, very complete C++, coroutine GitHub. There's a very complete one that just, yeah, CPP Coro. This is, I would consider this a study project, like going through and learning how they pulled off all this stuff. They implement what should have been done. So they implement tasks, shared tasks, generators, things like every damn thing you could think of. So I would go through that. So basically, the coroutine specification was kind of like a little too early. I think they should have baked it for a couple more years, and they should have made it much more feature complete, included a lot more capabilities, and made it more closely match the thread library than just these kind of like very bare minimum primitives. But anyways, yeah, C++ is, I don't know, man, I'm liking it. It's fun. I kind of want to write a bunch of websites using Drogan, which is like a really nice C++ a web framework. But I just know that shit's going to get hacked. They're going to have like one buffer overflow. But Drogan is very nice. Like, I would say it's for a C++ project, if you think like C++ stuff is hard to use, play around with Drogan. It's got a lot of great stuff in it. I dropped that one too. You come to my chat for tasty links. Yeah, you generate your stuff, and yeah, it's nice and fast. Oh my god, Drogan is crazy fast, stupid fast. Anyways, okay, so removing entities. I wonder if really the way to do it is. Yeah, I think you just have to iterate through every type and then pull enemies out. I think that's the only way you have to do it. You just have to brute force it. Alright, we're gonna make that. Am I doing this as a... this should be in... Oh, this will be interesting. So I wonder if I should actually make it where you just pass the component manually. Yeah, let's do that first. Oh yeah, CGI bin. Man. The old web was like a security nightmare, but it was fun. Just trying to figure out how to get web servers to do anything. Just like gnarly. Let's start with the simple one. We're going to do this. And... just manually remove a few things. Then I'll come up with a generic one I do know I'm going to have situations where like I remove an entity, but not like all of it, if that makes sense. Let's move you down. And you go here. I wonder why it formats that in. That's kind of weird. I wonder if that's like the way other people do. What the hell is it? Erase clear? Man. What are those? Map? Unordered map or map? Unordered map. Erase. Okay. Okay, we just have to do that with all of them. But let's do this first. We can probably just manually put that together. And then, yeah, that should work. I mean, assuming I can actually code for two shits. Eh? Wait. Oh. Apparently I already did this. Like literally the same code. Alright. Fine. Fine. Alright, combat system. Yeah, so this will have to turn into kind of its own piece of code. I'm gonna make it so that hand it some two entities that are gonna fight, and then they fight. But for now, yeah, okay. So if so they're dead here. Yeah. So what we want to do is this is where we would remove them. But I think if we do that, no, I think we're good. Yeah, because we're in a loop here. But I think we're gonna need probably need a component that tracks dead entities, and then we'll write a system that just goes over everyone that's dead and kills them off. But let's just try it out here. Oh no, I'm doing that wrong. Yeah. I think that's all I need to do. Yeah. I think I just do combat position. Let's go look real quick. I really need to also get this working. Instead of manually doing it, it should be a random thing, but I think at a certain point I'm going to have to get to where I get into the narrative of it. I think that's it. Oh, motion. That's the other one. I mean, doing it manually is not too bad. But eventually this will have like tons of components that need to be cleared out. And then we can get rid of this and this. Getting quite gnarly. Too much depth there, but we're just going to see, can we kill an entity off? They should get removed from the game. And, yeah, hopefully it doesn't crash. We'll see what happens. Oops. Alright, see what happens when they die. Hey, they disappeared. Cool. And then we crashed. As per usual. Alright, well, hey, that's close. That's close. Alright, so most likely, I'll probably bank that out, and I think this needs to be refactored quite a bit. Probably next session we're gonna... Yeah, and then if we move forward 1 point... the collision map, that's what we have to update next. Yeah, this is... entity position... Yeah, this is getting quite gnarly. Entity. We need to get their position. Ooh. Okay, so we remove them there, then we take them out of the world. Yeah, because what's happening is the collision map is crashing because we think there's stuff there when there's not. At least that's the theory. I have to go look at the code again. Oh, yeah. What's this song? Okay, and then the collider map can no longer be const. Yeah. And I think I'll push this further, and then what I'll do is I'll have a way of showing that the enemy is dead and laying there, and then you can walk over it and possibly collect up loot, things like that. But for now, we just got a very rudimentary combat system. Alright, so that should... Okay, well, alright, cool, we can kill things. Alright, we killed everything. It's officially a game. There we go. So yeah, so what I would like to do is when you kill something, it turns into like a dead... It maintains a position, basically maintains all of its elements, but it acquires a new component or setting that says it's dead. So then it gets a new tile. And so then we just take it out of the collision map, and it shouldn't move around anymore. You can walk right over it. That's it. Yeah, cool. I think that's going to work real well. You know, I could prototype that real quick. We just need to remove, keep the position, take it out of the collision map. Yeah. So if we keep its position, we take it out of the collision map so we can walk over it, and it doesn't have combat or motion anymore. It's technically dead in the game. Yeah, let's do that. Thank you for your vote of confidence, Justin. Gonna make the most awesome roguelike ever. That's not really the goal. The goal is to make something that, like, people could understand, right? That's why I'm keeping the code small. A lot of standard C++, even though it's not the fastest. It's just a normal person can understand it. Okay, let's kill this enemy. Yeah, okay, so that enemy is dead, and now I can walk over it. Ah. Okay, let's kill this one. Okay, so they're dead. So now we just have to have a way of showing that they're dead on the ground. Maybe change their color, and then yeah, okay. I kind of like this ECS system. It's actually pretty easy to work with once you sort of figure out what they're doing. Okay. Let's do another one. Log. How about? Let's do this. Yeah, I think do that, and then we'll have a component for stuff that's dead. And that component could then start talking about loot that you get or something like that. Okay, so then alright, it died. And there we go. Yeah, I like the idea of keeping them on the map and then just sort of altering them. Okay, so that means... Ah, yeah. Okay, so we just don't remove combat. Yeah, the only thing we need to do is remove motion and take it out of the collision map. So that'll indicate that it's dead. If we keep its combat statistics there, we know that its HP is below 0. Okay, so don't remove that. Then in the GUI render, my gnarly ass GUI rendering code, where I manually print out stuff. Let's see. Yes. Okay, so do I have access to the entity? Or it's just characters? Yeah, so all this is doing is rendering individual characters. All right, so this is the point where I would need to start getting into rendering the color schemes through the ANSI codes instead of what I'm doing now, which is kind of manually saying, okay, this thing is red, this thing is blue. Yeah, I'd have to have a way of looking them up. The idea would then be get their... Yeah, so... yeah, something like that. And then what that would do is that would make them dead, and then I could also do things like turn them sideways, because I'm rendering the characters basically manually. So this is actually all just graphics code. But the actual back end is FTX UI. So I took this a very nice text UI library, and it is doing the real work. It's determining the canvas and doing all sorts of things, and then all this render code does is just make the screen render from FTX UI, convert it to UTF-8 because you need that in order to get access to a lot of the glyphs, and then it's manually pulling the glyphs out of the font and then rendering them. So that's how come I can do color and stuff like that. But what we want to do then is we want to be able to render with FTX UI, say this is the color. Then FTX UI is going to use ANSI codes to set the color. So we need to be, now we're getting to a point where we have to parse that. But we have the beginning of a combat system. So next session we'll be working on the combat system and maybe figuring out some basic loot. Maybe like if you killed something and you walk over it, you get some gold or something like that. Okay, killed it. Okay, they're both dead. See, and so then what we want to do is something where, like, you know, it dies and it falls over. And then I got my zoom in to work. That map is really huge. And map generation also needs some work. It has a couple of bugs where it can't find a path to things. So I have to work on that. Awesome. Lots of really good code today. So the next thing would be combat system. Let's see. Combat system. And a simple loot system. Probably future is, oh yeah, this is fixed. And then probably need a way to actually render FTX UI ANSI output instead of the GUI.cpp hack. Alright, cool. Awesome. This is a lot of fun. I love this project. It's basically finally realizing my dreams as a 11-year-old kid. I want to make a rogue game like this. That's what got me into programming. So it only took me 39 years to finally do that. Alright, let me get this into the repo and Alright, cool. Alright, and if all of you want to check that out, I'll drop you a link to the code. There we go. Alright, so take a look at that if you're curious about what I'm working on. It's mostly an educational project, but I do have kind of ideas, some fun ideas for it. The main theme for the game is what can you do with text? Like how far can you push text? If you don't have limits on where you put it and how you scale it and what it looks like, your only limitation is what, like, you use text, but you can combine characters and everything. So take a look and let me know what you think. And I am going to sign off and go get some food, but I might be back in a couple hours to do, I don't know, either art or maybe a little bit of gaming. I found some paper that I thought I lost, like some drawing paper. It's like very expensive. I bought like $200 worth of it. years and years ago and then lost it. And I actually just found it. I thought it was totally gone. I guess when I moved, I put it somewhere weird. And so after the hurricane, I was ripping things apart and putting them up in attics and stuff, and then found it. Yeah, this is coming together. I think probably gonna need is a bit of code cleanup, get this GUI parsing thing to work, make a real combat system, and then the sound. I gotta find maybe Core Keeper or something like that, and figure out what do they do. Like, do they just do left and right, you know, and you just hear it like this? All right, cool. All right. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. I'll leave the music going for a bit, and then, yeah, I'll sign off after that.